In this video, we'll be discussing the slope of a line. And the slope is the vertical change, the ratio of the vertical change and the horizontal change, that is the rise over run, basically. And what it really does is it describes the rate of change in y, which is the vertical distance, due to the change in x, which is the horizontal distance. So if x varies or changes at some increment, how does y change with each increment of x? And we denote it by m. As you see here, the formula is, if we're given 2 points, point 1 and point 2, well, we can take y2 minus y1, so this second y value minus this first y value, which gives us the change in vertical distance. And to find the horizontal distance, we simply subtract the first distance from the second distance, that is the horizontal distances. And so we'll use this formula to find the slope of the line containing a pair of points. So we have 3 examples here. For this first example, well, we have m is equal to, the change in the vertical distance is just given by the second. Well, I mean, either of these points you could choose to be the second and first points, but let's just go in order visually. So here we will take minus 3 and then subtract 1, so that's the change in vertical distance. So minus 3 minus 1 over the change in horizontal distance, which is 5 minus 4, because those are the 2 horizontal values, or values that correspond to horizontal distance. And so that's minus 3 minus 1 is minus 4, and 5 minus 4 is 1, so, well, anything divided by 1 is itself. Okay, and I'd just like to show you in just one of these examples that it doesn't matter which order you choose the points, you will get the same exact slope. And that's fairly intuitive, because you can see that the difference will be sort of the same, and the ratio will be the same as well. So in this case, we'll choose this to be the second point, this to be the first point. Then we'll take 1 minus negative 3 to be the change in y. So 1 minus negative 3. And we will divide that by the change in x, that is 4 minus 5. And so that's 1 minus negative 3, which is 1 plus 3. Okay, so that's 4 divided by 4 minus 5, which is negative 1. And so that's negative 4. So as you can see, these two answers match up. And so the point is, you can choose either of these points. However, you can't allow this to be the first x value, this to be the second y value. The first x value and the first y value have to be contained in one point, so don't mix those up. You can just choose which point you'd like to be first and second. Well, for this one, so this one makes you wonder a little bit, because we have minus 6 for the x value here, minus 6 for the x value here, so x isn't changing, but y is changing. Okay, so really we're going to obtain a vertical line here. And that's basically, it's just saying minus 6 is the established x value, and it's not changing from there, but y can be any value. Okay, so for all values of y, x is equal to negative 6. And we'll see what that indicates about the slope. Well, we'll take 12 minus 1 to be the change in vertical distance, and we'll take minus 6 minus negative 6 to be the change in horizontal distance. So 12 minus 1 is 11, minus 6 minus negative 6 is minus 6 plus 6, which is 0. And as you've learned before, this is undefined, so let's call it undefined, or maybe undef, just a little sim. Okay, so this is undefined. And now, how does the undefined slope relate to a vertical line? Well, that's really what makes this line vertical in some sense. It's basically saying, I mean, this is just the slope you can't even imagine. It's just it's perfectly straight up and down. And if you notice here, 11 over something close to 0, so let's say 11 over, let's say 0.001, or maybe 11 over 1/1 millionth. Okay, is a very extremely large value, and basically all it's saying is that this slope is going to be unimaginably large, but really it just gives us a vertical line. So anytime you see an undefined slope, well, you know it's a vertical line. And you can also see that just from the given points. This is -6, this is -6. Anytime you're given the same x value and 2 or more points, and then you're given different y values, you know it's going to be a vertical line. Okay, well here, for our third and final example, we have the slope is equal to the vertical change, which is just 1.2 minus -0.15. So 1.2 minus -0.15 over, we have 0.60 minus 5.60. And let's see what we have here. It says 1.2 minus -0.15 is the same thing as 1.2 plus 0.15, and that's just 20 100ths plus 15 100ths, which is 35 100ths in the additional 1 here. So 135 100ths, and then we have 0.60 minus 5.60. We just subtract the 60 100ths, and we have what? -5. And if you cared to calculate it, you could do so, but the answer is fine here. And so that basically wraps up this video. We've calculated some slopes. This is the equation of a slope of any given line, and all we need is 2 points on the line, really. And that will conclude this video. Thank you.